Hey team, checking in with you this morning. Today I just want to hammer home a message that I think is really important for you guys to understand, and it's about the role I can play for you. So the exam coach idea, the whole thing that this is based on is when I was at school, I just really could have done with someone or something that I can turn to apart from parents, friends, teachers, an external influence, a second opinion, sounding board, however you want to put it. Just someone that I could go to for a bit of advice, look at what they've done before, what worked for them, what didn't work for them, and for them just to speak candidly about this is what I'd recommend you do. And I really needed that, and it wasn't available. All you really had was you had to ask. I suppose the one version of my exam coach that I did have that I was really good at, I don't know whether I've just always naturally kind of been this way, but I was never afraid to ask questions to older kids about how they did well or what in anything, any activity. I was just always interested in that, and I always got really good feedback and response because culturally I knew how to ask that question. I was socially intelligent enough to know how to position it and when to kind of ask it. So for example, at school you'd often, well at least when I was there, if you talked about academic work in the wrong settings, to say you're at a party, you get taken the mickey out of it. It's all just fun and games, but you wouldn't get the response that you want, right? And we're all results focused. So you think about, okay, when do I ask that question? You ask the question to the smart kid that you want to know how they do things. You ask it when you're on your own with them, and you just put it plainly. You just say, hey man, like, I know you've done really well at this, you're good. I've noticed that you can just do work really quick and you get good marks. How are you doing it? Like, what are the main principles? And then get them in a position of kind of power or authority, and they'll feel good about it. Think about when someone highlights something that's good in you. You feel great. You're like, wow, I am actually pretty good at that, and I'm willing to help this person because they're humble enough to come and, one, give me that praise and highlight the good in me, which is great. And secondly, they've really taken taken a step back to take two forward, in that they've opened up. They've really kind of got humble about things. People are always going to help you. There's a really good little excerpt by Steve Jobs about people naturally want to help each other. It's just that people don't ask. And you don't ask in the right way either. There's right ways and wrong ways to ask for things, right contexts and wrong contexts to ask for things. And it's having enough emotional intelligence, social intelligence to know when to pull the trigger. And if you can, and I'm going to try and help you guys with that, because I think that's the best way that you guys can learn, is off the people within your immediate circle of influence.
There we go.
The exam coach is also meant to be that online sounding board that you can go to and ask questions and get some advice. And the other thing with the coach element of it is this is about training. You're training for down the line, future successes, future ambitions that you have. And we're going to use the school period, exam time, and all those activities you do during school and college to train you up and get used to achieving tasks, because that's what anything is. Whether you want to be a rapper, a musician, a singer on the West End, fashion model, whatever. It's about successfully doing tasks day after day that link up and add up to the achievement of a single goal. And that's how you've got to think about it. Sorry about the wind here. I really do need to improve my podcasting studio. But essentially that's what I'm there for. And as the coach has got to go to every training session. So I'm going to look to do a lot more live video stuff, making sure that I'm checking in daily and doing that stuff that I think you guys need to hear and watch and be a part of, so that, for example, like every morning we can do a power session for school, college, whatever you have. You could do a little check-in in the midday and then a check-in afterwards as well. Just need to figure out the exact model there and how I can really add value. But I've got to be there 24/7, because if the coach isn't there, how's the squad meant to roll up and attend training? doesn't work, right? I've got to have that max commitment, and that's what I want to do for you guys. Make sure I'm there, and just, it's routine building. There's honestly, well, there's no secrets to achieving anything, whether it's exams or anything you're ambitious about in life. I think you need to, one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about the smartphone, you need to learn how to absolutely dominate that device, both physically and mentally. The way you're thinking about everything that comes through it, the way you're thinking about everything you do on it, and then actually following through, like the physical things you're doing day in, day out to move the ball a little bit further down the field in terms of what you care about in life. The smartphone is the key to that. Never forget it. It's really, really important that you pay attention to it and don't just go into zombie mode on this thing. Yeah, I lull into zombie mode sometimes. What zombie mode is, just not thinking properly about how you're using the device and getting, taking down a rabbit hole. We all do it. Autoplay videos, randomly looking at stuff that doesn't really add any value to us. All that stuff, figuring it out. And then lastly, just the basics of career planning. Simple skills, something that I had quite a bit of anxiety over because I always thought, oh, what do I want to do? How am I going to do it? And I've pieced together the beginnings of a career for myself in the kind of advertising attention space that I like, and I like education as well, and I like helping students and young people. So that's how I'm piecing together my stuff, and I want to tell you a little bit about how I thought about that and made sense of it in my head. And then right now I'm able to actually fully commit to that and not be in a state of limbo where you're not sure what you like. And sometimes that can be really unhelpful, because if you don't have a clear target and a goal, you can't move towards something, even if it's just a short-term one. But having that long-term one hanging out there in the distance, you can just look over and have a look at it and check in on it every so often. Really, really important. Anyway, I am going to check out, and got to have a big day today at Vayner. It will be big. I'm going to kick off with I reckon just 2 strong hours at the desk, and then check in and see how the rest of the tasks are looking for the day. Anyway, have a belter. Enjoy.